Well, where do I start when it comes to the weather pattern at the moment? It is an extreme pattern, it is a fascinating pattern, and we are well back into the grips of summer like heat, something we didn't see in July and indeed August. Thanks for clicking on to the Wednesday edition of Hogan's European Outlook. Hope everybody is well, staying cool, enjoying it if you like the heat, and if you don't, well, there is cooler, fresher conditions moving in towards the late weekend and into early next week. It looks as if the temperature has reached the warmest levels since June, believe it or not, across the southeast. Now, this is day number 3 of 30 plus Celsius. This run will continue through the remainder of this week. We may wind up seeing a 33 Celsius when all is said and done towards the weekend. It looks as if the peak of the heat will be. Like I say, day 3 of 30 plus, and it looks as if it's the warmest day so far at 30.8 Celsius achieved at St James's Park in central London. It looks as if Northolt is actually 31 Celsius, so it looks as if we've reached the first 31 of this stretch, and it will continue to warm further over the next few days. We did see, of course, the first official UK tropical night, not last night, but the night before, of 20.5 at Plymouth in Devon. And in stark contrast, we actually had 1.4 Celsius at Braemar in the East Highlands. So quite the significant contrast in temperature. In fact, that same morning, my dashboard reading 3 Celsius near Carbridge on the A9 heading back up towards Inverness from Glasgow. And there is a real mixture in terms of warmth versus cool. Depends on the cloud cover, depends on wind, lack of wind, and of course clear skies. This time of the year, we can go from plus 12 to low single figures within maybe say 30 or 40 miles, just based on the circumstances that we've got at play at the moment here. So why do we have this? We do actually have a 25 Celsius both at Loch Scarnock and Altnahara, with exposure of sea breeze, temperature only 19 Celsius at 10-21 Celsius at Inverness here. But once over the next few days, we could see southerly winds increase, and therefore I wouldn't be surprised if we see temperatures in the mid to high 20s on that Murray coast. My personal weather station here at the house, just about 16 miles north of Inverness, reached 25 Celsius. That's the warmest temperature since the 9th of July, when the temperature hit 27.6 for the yearly maximum. It'll be interesting to see how warm my temperature gets over the next few days here as we continue to see warm temperatures prevail. So what is going on at this moment in time? Well, it's all about this kind of omega block type situation, and it's called an omega block, of course, because it is shaped like the Greek letter omega, and we do have a very extreme situation underway at the moment across the continent here. Notice the big area of high pressure centered over the heart of Europe. In fact, centered almost on the north shore of Germany and Denmark. And of course, we've got 2 areas of trapped low pressure. One just to the west and centered just to the west of Iberia. That produced the heavy flood and rainfall in Madrid back over the weekend. And of course, we've got Storm Daniel, that is a Medicaid over the Ionian Sea, and that has produced exceptional rainfall over the last 24 hours. We've had an excess of 600, yeah, that's right, 600 millimeters of rainfall within a 10-hour period. That is astonishing rainfall, folks, and I'll show you the pictures in just a second. But as I play through this loop, what takes place is that this situation is evolving with this area of low pressure to the southwest of the British Isles and Ireland. Now, as this upper level feature moves slightly further north, what it will do is it's going to then turn the winds more out of a southerly direction, and hence why we're going to continue to see the temperatures rise and through the remainder of this week here. So we'll kind of start off at just over 30. Now we've reached 31. We're likely to see 32 Celsius, if not today, tomorrow. And we may be knocking the door of 32 to 33, possibly an outside chance of a 34 Celsius by the time we reach Saturday. And as that heat peaks over the UK, we're going to see the beginnings of the end of this heat wave, if you like that sort of thing here. But very strong winds associated with this little tight trapped area of low pressure beneath the ridge of high pressure to the north. And of course, we've got the feature here that has been spinning around off Iberia for the last few days. As that kind of tracks a little bit further north, we are going to see disturbances in the upper levels of the atmosphere run north. So therefore, we're going to see an increased chance of showers and thunderstorm activity through southwest England, South Wales, the west coast of Wales, up through the Irish Sea, parts of Eastern Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland as well, and even up into the western side of Scotland. Over the next couple of days, we're going to see these little disturbances spin off this upper level low off Iberia, and then they're going to drift north as we progress through the remainder this week. Notice here the core of the high and the actual shape of the high changes shape as that area of low pressure to the west southwest lifts a little bit further north. Notice here the envelope of that upper low is kind of stretching out, and therefore we're going to kind of draw our air in from Africa, Western Mediterranean, all the way up the western side of this heat core centered over Germany and the Netherlands here. The reason why we've got such warm temperatures is, of course, we're drawing and tapping, hot sourced air from the Mediterranean, from northwest Africa. They're coming up between these two areas of low pressure and straight up into the UK. And of course, with southerly winds all the way to the north of Scotland, we could see the temperatures downstream or downwind of the hills reach upper 20s in places such as the Murray Coast and the Northwest Highlands here. So we'll watch this space as we go forward. We continue to play through the loop here as we skip through the middle portion of the week, and in the next week, or the upcoming weekend, should I say, we've still got that southerly flow. We continue to see that warmth building northwards here, and then this is what happens. We start to see the heights coming down as that core of high pressure drifts a little further to the east. We're going to start to see the temperatures trim back across the north. All the while, we could see the heat peaking across parts of southeastern England. And then keep your eyes fixed on the trough that's now starting to gather pace over Iceland. That is going to start to dive south and southeast. And therefore, an associated cold front will bring heavy showers, thunderstorms, rainfall, and a drop in the temperature through the course of particularly the second half of the weekend here. And then you notice here we've got an area of low pressure that moves through during the early and second half of next week here. And then it'll be all eyes on what takes place after that. Looks as if we've got a bit of a kind of north, the trough, south ridge of high pressure, and of course disturbances running across the top of that. This looks like a very significant breakdown actually coming to the UK and Ireland pattern, according to the GFS model at least, as we step into the early portion of next week. It really arrives during Sunday, and then that is the demise of the heat wave here. So if you don't like heat wave conditions, I think we've got some break coming for you. Very little in the way of rainfall, apart from northwestern portions of the Republic of Ireland. I was going to say the Irish Republic, but I've already got into trouble for saying that phrase. I'm trying to keep myself politically correct and not offend anybody. Even though I'm from Northern Ireland, I can still offend my friends down south of the border from time to time here. Not all, but just one or two individuals I've seen in the past getting a little bit upset by some of the wording and some of the phrases here. But you can see here a real lack of shower activity at the moment across the UK and Ireland here, and it'll be interesting over the next few days to see what takes place with regards to that here. So, of course, we've had some very interesting cloudscapes in recent days. Thanks to that upper level trough over the west of Iberia, we've actually been drawing some Saharan dust up from, lo and behold, the Sahara Desert, up through the Balearics, northeastern Spain, up over France and into the UK. Now, I could be talking silly here, but I'm pretty sure I've seen some kind of funny looking, funky looking sky over the last couple of days, and I'm not sure, I'm not entirely convinced, but it may be in fact Saharan dust even up here across the north of Scotland here. But this is a fascinating visible satellite image here that was shared by MetJam, showing the Saharan dust lifting northwards up over the UK and Ireland in recent days here. And of course, with that centre of high pressure over the heart of Europe, we've got nothing but clear skies over this region of the world at the moment here. Very dusty skies over Iberia, as you can see here. Then, of course, there's Storm Daniel. That is a Medicaid over 26, 27 Celsius waters. It does have not true tropical characteristics, but these Medicains wind up over the warm waters. They have got a warm core, and of course, with cooler aloft, warm waters feeding that energy from below. We do have warm core characteristics with these systems. They can generate hurricane force winds, but also tremendous amounts of rain. And that is exactly what we've seen in recent days, or the last 24 hours anyway, across parts of Greece here. It looks as if we've set a new 24-hour rainfall record for Greece. Now remember, we've seen a few national records fall. We've seen it in Madeira. So the Portuguese record for 24-hour rainfall was broken back, I think, in June, with that unusual system in an unusual place back in the early portion of the summer. But this particular tweet here, the record of highest daily accumulated rainfall in Greece was broken. Listen to this: 754 millimeters of rain fell in just 18 hours in Zagora, Pelion. The previous record of 644.7 millimeters of rain was recorded back, and that was in Cyclone Ineos in September of 2020. So actually, only 3 years ago, Greece set a new rainfall record. And a lot of this probably is associated with the unusually warm waters, both in the Atlantic and the Mediterranean basin in recent times, enhancing that rainfall with systems here. So yeah, some dramatic rainfall in the last day or so, and it looks as if we're going to continue to see that. This was the scene here from Vosos in Greece here. Just unbelievable flooding associated with Storm Daniel. Cars submerged, almost completely submerged actually, in flood waters. A very, very serious and sad situation that has occurred down here in Greece and the Balkan region. Now, are we going to see a new September all-time record? No, is going to be the simple answer to that. 1906, we've seen a temperature at Bawtry in eastern England record a temperature of 35.6 Celsius. Yesterday we saw 30 Celsius, and by Wednesday the thermometer, according to the BBC, might reach 32 somewhere, which would equal the highest temperature this summer. Remember, the warmest temperature of the year so far is 32.2. The warmest in August was 28.4. The warmest in July was 30.2. So we are comfortably likely to beat that. But in terms of the September record set all the way back in 1906, that record looks to be safe. Now, we did see record 850 temperatures over parts of France at 23 Celsius. So that's at 5,000 feet. We had a 23 Celsius. That is a September record for this region of France. We also seen 850 of 21 Celsius, which was record breaking. We did see, I believe, 17.8 Celsius, which was a record at Herstmoncue. Tell me how to pronounce that. I've never been confident in being able to pronounce that right. Herstmoncue. That's my interpretation of that. I've seen the name of that place so many times, but I was never sure exactly how to pronounce it. But it looks as if we've seen a 21 Celsius at 850 over this parts of the UK in recent days here. So pretty astonishing stuff, and we are going to continue to see this as we press through the weekend. Washed out roads in parts of Greece as well due to that incredible amounts of rainfall here. And like I say, we are going to see a break coming up in the over the weekend here, but it is going to continue for the remainder of this week. This remarkable warm spell, warm and dry September. Remember, is the forecast here on marvelweather.com. I think that's it for today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you again tomorrow with more interesting stats as they come in. Bye. Bye for now.